My wife cheated with a coworker for 6 months, so I divorced her, started dating her best friend, and built a better life while she's pregnant by a D addict and losing everything. I map underwater terrains for a living. Hydrographic surveying, basically creating detailed charts of harbor floors, underwater obstacles, depth changes. The job requires obsessive attention to patterns and anomalies. Funny how I could spot a 2-inch deviation in seafloor sediment but missed my wife's affair for 6 months. Frances and I had been married 7 years. She worked as a patent examiner at the intellectual property office downtown, reviewing applications for everything from kitchen gadgets to biotech innovations. We had 2 boys, 7-year-old Theo and 5-year-old Oscar. The kind of life that looked perfect in our suburban neighborhood where everyone pretended their marriages were rock solid. The first sign was so small I almost dismissed it. Frances started working late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Patent examining suddenly required overtime that never showed up on her pay stubs. When I asked about it, she'd wave her hand dismissively. Big backlog from the tech sector. You know how it is. I didn't know how it was. But I trusted her. Then came the cologne. I was grabbing my winter jacket from the hall closet in early March when I knocked something over. An expensive bottle of men's cologne, the kind that costs $200 at department stores. I don't wear cologne. Haven't since college. When I brought it to Frances, she barely glanced up from her laptop. Oh, that's probably from the office gift exchange. I forgot to donate it. She typed faster. Just toss it if you want. But I didn't toss it. I put it back and started noticing things. Her phone, which used to lie around anywhere, now lived in her pocket or face down beside her. She'd installed a privacy screen protector. She'd shower immediately after coming home on those late nights, even though she worked in an office. New perfume appeared, something floral and aggressive that made me sneeze. The IP office held a spring networking event in April. Spouses invited. I went because the boys were at my mother's and I figured I should show my face at these things occasionally. Frances introduced me to colleagues I'd heard about for years. Then she introduced me to Griffin. This is Griffin, our new transportation modeler from the City Traffic Lab. He's helping us evaluate some autonomous vehicle patents. Griffin shook my hand with practiced confidence. Tall, lean, the kind of guy who probably ran marathons and talked about them. His cologne hit me immediately. Same brand from our closet. Felix maps the ocean floor, Frances said, her hand briefly touching Griffin's arm. Completely different world from our paper pushing. They laughed. I watched her fingers linger 1 second too long. That night, she worked late again. I checked our shared calendar, she'd marked it as a deadline crunch. But when I drove past the IP office at 9:30, her car wasn't in the parking garage. I know because I circled all 4 levels. She came home at 11, hair slightly messed despite being pulled back in her usual work ponytail. Grabbed drinks with the team after we finished, she explained without me asking. Griffin bought rounds to celebrate closing the Tesla case. I nodded. Smiled. Went to bed. The patterns became clearer once I started looking. Tuesday to Thursday overtime. Weekend conferences that required no materials, no prep, no follow-up presentations. Lunch breaks that stretched from noon to 2:30. Her location services mysteriously disabled on her phone. Last week, she called in sick on Friday. Stomach bug, she said. Spent the day in bed. I brought her tea, kept the boys quiet, played the concerned husband. But when I was doing laundry that night, her clothes from that day smelled like wine and that aggressive perfume. No sign of sickness. This morning, I was organizing tax documents in our home office when a receipt fell out of her purse. She'd asked me to find her insurance card. A parking receipt from the Marriott downtown. Dated last Friday. Timestamp, 2:47 p.m. The same Friday she spent sick in our bed. I'm staring at this receipt now, feeling something cold settle in my chest. Not rage. Not heartbreak. Something more practical. The same feeling I get when I spot an underwater anomaly that could tear a ship's hull open. I need to map this threat properly before I navigate through it. I folded the receipt and placed it in my desk drawer, underneath my sonar calibration certificates. Every surveyor knows you don't act on a single data point. You gather evidence, establish patterns, verify readings. That night at dinner, Frances chatted about patent applications while the boys argued over dinosaurs. I watched her cut Oscar's chicken, help Theo with his math homework, kiss their foreheads. The perfect mother. The lying wife. I excused myself to check work emails and instead ordered a voice-activated recorder from Amazon. 1-day shipping. The device arrived Saturday morning, Small as a USB drive. Single party consent state, I'd checked. As long as I'm part of the conversation or it's my property, it's legal. Frances was at her yoga class, the boys at soccer practice. I installed it under her driver's seat, secured with heavy-duty Velcro. 3 days of nothing. Work calls about prior art searches. Her mom discussing Easter plans. Audiobooks about productivity. Then Tuesday hit. I was reviewing bathymetric data when my phone buzzed, the recorder app notification. I waited until lunch, drove to an empty parking lot, and listened. Frances's voice, that was too close yesterday. Felix actually drove by the office. Griffin's laugh, so? You were there. Eventually. After we left the hotel. God, if he'd checked earlier. He won't. The man maps underwater rocks for a living. He's not exactly Sherlock Holmes. Frances giggled. Actually giggled. He asked about your cologne once. I told him it was from a gift exchange. And he believed that? Felix believes whatever's convenient. It's been 6 months, Griff. He has no clue. The Tuesday to Thursday schedule is perfect. My wife thinks I'm at city council meetings. And Felix thinks I'm drowning in patent backlogs. They discuss their close calls, the time I'd almost caught a text, when Griffin's wife called while he was with Frances, how they'd been careful about protection. Frances mentioned she'd been tracking everything in a period app to avoid complications. I sat in my truck, engine off, listening to my wife plan her next liaison like she was scheduling a dentist appointment. The worst part wasn't the betrayal. It was the casual cruelty of their mockery. I drove back to work and pulled up Frances's shared Google Calendar. She'd given me access years ago for coordinating kid stuff. Patent examiner overtime my sauce. Every Tuesday and Thursday for 6 months, blocked out from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Case review, confidential. Cross-referencing with credit card statements took an hour. Our transparent joint finances showed patterns. Tuesday/Thursday charges at downtown parking garages. Cash withdrawals every Monday, unusual for Frances who lived on plastic. Charges at restaurants I'd never heard of, always under $30, drinks, not dinner. Pharmacy charges that didn't match our regular prescriptions. I created a spreadsheet. Dates, times, charges, calendar entries. The data painted a clear picture. They'd meet at various hotels, occasionally restaurants, sometimes Griffin's office when it was empty. The cash withdrawals likely covered hotel rooms to avoid paper trails. But Frances had gotten sloppy. She'd used our joint card at a lingerie store 3 weeks ago. Claimed it was for our anniversary. Our anniversary was in September, 5 months away. I started taking screenshots, downloading statements, backing everything up to a cloud account she didn't know about. My lawyer buddy from college had always said, document everything. Judges love evidence. Wednesday night, Frances worked late again. Off schedule, but I didn't question it. I tucked the boys in, read them stories about pirates and treasure maps, then sat in my office mapping a different kind of hazard. Her location services were off, but she'd forgotten about the iPad. Still logged into her Apple ID, location sharing enabled. She wasn't at the office. She was at Griffin's house. His wife's Instagram showed her at a book club in Bethesda. Thursday morning, Frances hummed while making breakfast. She'd come home at midnight, claimed the system crashed and they'd all stayed to fix it. She kissed my cheek, smelling like that aggressive perfume layered over something else. Griffin's cologne. I might be late again tonight, she said, packing lunches. The Tesla appeal is destroying us. No problem, I said. I'll handle dinner. She smiled, squeezed my shoulder, and left for work. I watched her drive away, then opened my phone to check the recording from her car. That's when I saw her text on our shared tablet, the notification still on screen, can't wait for tonight. Also, my period's late. Getting a test today just to be sure. Don't worry, we've been careful, 2 hearts emoji. I stared at the text for 30 seconds, screenshot it, then deleted the notification from the tablet's history. My hands were steady. No shaking, no rage, just the same calm I felt when navigating through storms on survey vessels. Frances pregnant. The timing was interesting, we hadn't been intimate in 2 months. She'd claimed stress from work, exhaustion, headaches. Now I understood why. I called in sick to work, sent the boys to school, and drove to my lawyer's office. Not a friend this time, a professional recommended by my colleague who'd survived a brutal divorce. Diane Kowarski specialized in high-conflict custody cases. I need to know my options, I said, spreading my documentation across her mahogany desk. Washington's a no-fault state, I know. But I have 2 kids and evidence of financial deception. Diane reviewed everything with sharp eyes. The affair won't matter for divorce terms, but this financial pattern, separate accounts, hidden withdrawals, that matters. And if she's pregnant with another man's child while married to you. Legally, I'm presumed the father. Unless you challenge it immediately. Which I recommend. She pulled out a legal pad. Here's what we do: file first. Control the narrative. Secure your assets before she knows what's happening. We spent 3 hours building a strategy. Separate my paycheck deposits immediately. Document every interaction with the boys. File papers but don't serve them yet, wait for the right moment. The survey business I'd been building on the side? Move it to an LLC immediately. That afternoon, I picked up the boys early, claiming a dentist appointment. We went for ice cream instead. Oscar got chocolate on his shirt. Theo told me about his science project on ocean currents. Normal father-son afternoon while their mother was potentially carrying another man's child. Francis texted at 4, staying late again tonight. System issues. Order pizza for the boys? I responded, no problem. Hope you get it sorted out. The recorder app buzzed 20 minutes later. I waited until the boys were playing video games to listen in my office. Francis was crying. It's positive, Griff. The test is positive. Okay. Don't panic. These things happen. These things happen? I'm married. Felix won't know anything. You said you've been distant. Start being affectionate again. Problem solved. You want me to sleep with my husband to cover up your baby? Our baby. And it's not mine for certain. Could be his. We haven't. Not in 2 months. Silence. Then Griffin, so we handle it. There are options. I'm not discussing this in a car. Come to my place tonight. Felix thinks I'm working. The recording cut off. She'd arrived somewhere and turned off the engine. I sat back, processing. She was coming here tonight, bringing Griffin to our home while she thought I'd be distracted with the boys. The audacity was almost impressive. I texted my mother, emergency at work. Can you grab the boys for a sleepover? She arrived at 6, delighted for unexpected grandma time. The boys packed their bags, excited about her promise of pancakes for dinner. I kissed their heads, told them I'd see them tomorrow. By 7, I'd positioned my laptop in the bedroom, remote desktop connected to my phone. The house's security cameras, which Francis had forgotten about since I'd installed them years ago, were recording to cloud storage. Francis's car pulled up at 7:40. Griffin's silver sedan parked 2 houses down, like that made him invisible. I watched from my office window as they entered through the back door, Francis using her key. I heard them in the kitchen, glasses clinking. Her laugh, forced, nervous. His voice, lower, reassuring. They moved to the living room. I could hear everything through the thin walls of our 50-year-old house. We should go upstairs, Francis said. Just in case Felix comes home early. You said he never does when the boys are at his mom's. Still, our bedroom feels wrong. The bedroom where you haven't touched him in months? They went upstairs. To our guest room. I heard the door close, the lock turn. I waited 5 minutes, then opened my laptop. The security system showed everything. Crystal clear, time-stamped, uploaded to the cloud. I pulled out my phone and opened Francis's email. I still knew her password from when she'd had me check it during her gallbladder surgery. My thumb hovered over the send button for the divorce papers Diane had prepared, with one particularly damning photo attached. Then I heard Francis's phone buzz in the guest room. Her work email notification. I hit send. The subject line read, documentation regarding our marriage, time-sensitive. Attached, one photo from our security system, timestamped 15 minutes ago, showing Griffin and Francis entering our back door. Plus the divorce petition, custody arrangement proposal, and financial disclosure demands. I heard Francis's phone buzz again. Then silence. Then scrambling. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? What's wrong? Felix knows. He sent divorce papers. To my work email. There's a photo. The guest room door slammed open. Francis flew down the stairs, Griffin behind her. I stayed in my office, door locked, recording everything on my phone. Felix. She pounded on my office door. Felix, open this door right now. We need to talk. We're past talking, I said calmly. Your attorney can contact mine. Diane Kowarski. Her information's in the email. You can't do this. The boys are with my mother. I've documented everything, Francis. 6 months of it. Including tonight. Griffin's voice, hey man, let's be adults about this. You're in my house, I said. With my wife. While she's carrying your child. Which part of this is adult? Silence. Then Francis, quieter, how did you? Voice recorder. Legal in Washington. I have everything. The hotel receipts, the mockery about how stupid I am, the pregnancy test discussion. All of it. Francis started crying. Not sad tears, angry ones. You violated my privacy. You violated our marriage. She switched tactics. Felix, please. We can work this out. The baby. It might be yours. We haven't slept together since January. It's April. We did. Valentine's Day. You had your period Valentine's Day. You complained about it ruining our dinner plans. Try again. Griffin muttered something about leaving. I heard the back door close. His sedan started outside. Francis's supposed great love, abandoning her the moment things got difficult. He left, she said, disbelief in her voice. He just left me here. Welcome to consequences. She was quiet for a moment. Then, sharper, you know what? Fine. You were never enough anyway. Always gone on your surveys, obsessed with your underwater maps. You're boring, Felix. Griffin makes me feel alive. The Griffin who just ran away? At least he notices me. I noticed plenty. I noticed the cologne, the late nights, the new lingerie you bought 3 weeks ago. Size smaller than usual, trying to impress someone? She went silent again. Then, I want the house. Not happening. It's in my name. Inherited from my grandfather, remember? Never converted to marital property. You planned this. I prepared for this. There's a difference. You'll get standard spousal support as outlined by state guidelines. Custody will be determined by the court, but I've documented that I'm the primary caregiver. I have 2 years of school pickup records, doctor appointment attendance, soccer practice schedules. You can't take my boys. Our boys. And I'm not taking them. I'm providing stability while their mother implodes her life for an office affair. She pounded on the door again. Open this door and face me like a man. Pack a bag and go to your sister's. Or Griffin's. Or wherever. I'm changing the locks tomorrow. This is my home. Check the deed. I heard her storm upstairs, drawers slamming, hangers rattling. 40 minutes later, she came back down. This isn't over. Actually, it is. Your key, please. She threw it at the door. It clattered on the hardwood. You're going to regret this, Felix. I'll take everything. With what money? The secret account with $8 grand in it? I know about that too, by the way. She left, slamming the front door so hard the windows rattled. I waited 20 minutes, then emerged from my office. The house felt different. Lighter. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. This is Griffin's wife. We need to talk. I called Diane first. Francis left. Griffin's wife just contacted me. Do not respond yet. Let me. My phone buzzed again. Another unknown number. This time with a photo. It was Griffin, unconscious in a hospital bed, machines everywhere. The message underneath, he tried to destroy himself. This is your fault. I stared at the photo. Griffin's face was gray, tubes everywhere, monitoring equipment casting green light across his unconscious form. The timestamp showed 11:47 p.m., barely 2 hours after he'd fled my house. Diane's voice cut through. Felix? Do not respond to that message. Forward it to me immediately. I did. Another text arrived, this time from Francis. Griffin's in the ICU. He took pills and drank. His wife found your email to me on his phone. She called 911. If he dies, it's on you. That's emotional manipulation, Diane said. And legally irrelevant. A grown man made his own choices. Document everything, don't engage. But I couldn't stop staring at the photo. I'd wanted consequences, not this. The next morning, while dropping the boys at school, I ran into Naomi, Francis's best friend since college. She worked as an urban sustainability consultant, designing green spaces for cities. We'd always gotten along at social gatherings, but Frances had kept her friends separate from our marriage. Felix. She grabbed my arm outside the elementary school. I heard about everything. Frances called me, hysterical. Naomi, I can't. I'm not here for her. I need to tell you something. She glanced around, then pulled me aside. This isn't Frances's first affair. My stomach dropped. What, 3 years ago? Some contractor at her office. Lasted 4 months. She begged me not to tell you, said it was a mistake, swore it would never happen again. Naomi's eyes were fierce. I kept her secret because I believed her. But Griffin? I've been watching this train wreck for months. You knew? She bragged about it. Called it her awakening. Said you were too focused on work to notice. Naomi shook her head. She laughed about it, Felix. Laughed about how she could do anything because you'd never leave her. I leaned against my truck, processing. Why tell me now? Because she's playing victim. Posting on social media about her controlling husband who spied on her. Making you the villain. Naomi pulled out her phone, showed me Frances's Facebook. Vague posts about surviving emotional abuse and finding strength. I have recordings of her admitting everything. Use them. She's already spinning the narrative. Griffin's self-destroying attempt is being blamed on you destroying their pure love or some garbage. He's going to be okay? Liver damage from mixing benzos with alcohol, but he'll live. His wife is divorcing him too. She's actually handling it better than Frances. Naomi paused. Frances lost her job yesterday. Showed up drunk at noon, made a scene about the pregnancy. She's really pregnant? 7 weeks. She announced it to the entire patent office floor. Called Griffin her soulmate while his wife was sitting in the ICU waiting room. My phone rang. Frances's mother. Don't answer, Naomi advised. She's been calling everyone, trying to turn the family against you. But I answered anyway. Hello, Patricia. Felix, what have you done? Frances is staying with me, absolutely destroyed. She says you threw her out while pregnant. She was having an affair, Patricia. For 6 months. I have proof. Silence. Then, marriages have rough patches. You work through them. She's pregnant with another man's child. You don't know that for certain. We haven't been intimate since January. She's 7 weeks pregnant. Patricia hung up. Naomi touched my shoulder. I'm sorry you're dealing with this. If you need a witness for court, I'm available. I have texts where she admits everything. Over the next week, the situation spiraled. Griffin survived but faced months of recovery. His wife served him divorce papers in the hospital. Frances was denied unemployment due to being fired for cause. Her sister refused to house her after Frances drunkenly hit on her husband. The $8,000 she'd hidden? Gone to a lawyer who dropped her after the retainer ran out. Meanwhile, I focused on the boys. Kept their routine normal. Soccer practice, homework, bedtime stories. Diane fast-tracked the custody arrangement. Frances got supervised visitation. Her drunk scene at the patent office worked in my favor. 2 weeks later, Naomi texted, "Coffee? I have something you need to hear." We met at a small cafe. She looked tired but determined. Frances came to my apartment last night. Begging for money. When I refused, she told me something. Naomi paused. The baby isn't Griffin's. She's been seeing someone else too. Your neighbor, actually. The divorced guy 3 houses down. I set my coffee down carefully. Harrison? The mortgage broker? She's been sleeping with him too. Started 2 months ago. She doesn't know who the father is. Naomi pulled out her phone. I recorded her confession. She was drunk, desperate, spilling everything. Harrison. The guy who'd helped me move furniture last Christmas. Who'd been at Oscar's birthday party. 3 houses down, recently divorced, always friendly. The perfect neighbor. She played everyone, I said, surprisingly calm. Griffin, Harrison, me. Griffin doesn't know about Harrison. Harrison doesn't know about Griffin. She kept them in separate compartments. Naomi met my eyes. Felix, she asked me to lie for her. To tell you the baby was yours if you'd take her back. I laughed. Actually laughed. The absurdity of it all. That evening, Frances showed up at my door. Not my house, my new apartment. I'd sold the house 2 weeks prior, above asking price. Moved into a 3-bedroom closer to the boys' school and the harbor where I worked. She looked rough. Hair unwashed, designer clothes replaced with sweats, The pregnancy showing slightly at 8 weeks. How did you find me? Oscar mentioned the new place at visitation. She swayed slightly. Felix, please. I need help. No. I'm pregnant and homeless. You're pregnant with someone's baby, Griffin's or Harrison's, and living with your mother. Her face crumpled. Mom kicked me out. She found out about Harrison. Not my problem. The baby is not mine. We both know that. She tried tears. What about the boys? They need their mother. They have their mother. Every other weekend, supervised. Court ordered. That's not enough. Should have thought about that before destroying our family. She switched to anger. You're with Naomi now, aren't you? My best friend? You planned this whole thing. Naomi and I are friends. She's helping me understand how deep your lies went. I kept my voice level. She told me about the contractor 3 years ago. Francis went pale. That was nothing? And Harrison? Is he nothing too? She stumbled backward. How? You told Naomi. While drunk. Last night. Francis's mask finally cracked completely. No more manipulation, no more tactics. Just raw desperation. I F-word up. Okay? I F-word up. But I'm carrying a baby and I have nothing. Whose baby? I don't know. Then get a paternity test. Harrison has money. Griffin has insurance. One of them can help you. Harrison won't answer my calls. Griffin's wife got a restraining order against me. Again, not my problem. She stared at me. When did you become this cold? When I heard you laughing about how stupid I was. When you called me boring. When you said Griffin made you feel alive. I stepped back. I'm not cold, Francis. I'm done. 6 months later, my life had completely transformed. The apartment was perfect, smaller but warmer, with a view of the harbor. The boys had adjusted well. Theo's grades improved. Oscar stopped having nightmares. My underwater archaeology consulting firm landed a contract with the state to map historical shipwrecks. 6 figures for 6 months' work. I hired 2 junior surveyors. Naomi and I grew closer. Not rushed, not revenge-driven. Just 2 people who understood betrayal and chose honesty instead. She'd make dinners while I helped the boys with homework. Natural, easy, real. Francis gave birth to a daughter. DNA tests confirmed Harrison was the father, but he wanted nothing to do with either of them. He sold his house, moved to California. Griffin was still in therapy, his marriage over, his career damaged after the overdose. Francis lived with a distant cousin in Tacoma, working part-time at a call center. She'd text occasionally, different versions of the same message, please help or I'm sorry or just help. I never responded. Not out of cruelty, but clarity. Some ships weren't worth salvaging. The last time I saw her was at custody exchange. She looked tired, defeated, holding her baby while Oscar hugged her goodbye. She met my eyes over his head. I'm sorry, she mouthed. I nodded, took my boy's hands, and walked away. Theo chatted about his science project. Oscar asked if Naomi was making tacos tonight. My phone buzzed. Francis, help. I deleted it without reading, pulling my boys closer as we headed home to our new life. The harbor sparkled in the distance, depths mapped and navigable. Some surveys were finally complete. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.